I think we fight to be exposed to the beauty of love without understanding that love will often expose the ugliness of you. Just like it is difficult to see yourself without a reflection, it is impossible to face yourself with yourself. So God puts relationships into our life because a relationship that is birthed out of real, true love should really be a mirror that reflects everything that you weren't able to see about yourself. I used to be very cautious of people who had the kind of self-made attitude where they profess to living alone in isolation without community. Because at the core of our human existence is really this desire to love and be loved. And so it isn't that they don't want relationship. It's that sometimes I don't want to let you in because I'm afraid of what you will expose about who I am. And so we all say that we want love. But are you willing to sacrifice the parts of yourself that are standing in the way of your ability to receive it? I used to be in these relationships that would really end up going nowhere. It's like it gets serious only to a certain point. And what I discovered is that I was falling in love with people who weren't ready for different levels of exposure. And so whenever you are with someone who is not ready to face themselves, it becomes easier for them to reject you than it is for them to face an image of themselves that they're not ready to accept. It really is like Adam in the garden. When God created Adam and Eve, the Bible says that they were naked and unashamed. They were literally blind to their own nakedness. And when they dishonored God by eating what it is He told them not to eat, their eyes were opened and they could then see their nakedness. And God's looking for Adam in the garden, and Adam says, I heard your voice, but I hid because I was naked. I think like Adam, we are often blind to the things about ourselves that make us ashamed. And when our eyes are suddenly open to ourselves and we are exposed in love, then I now feel the need to run and hide, not necessarily because of anything that you've done to me, but because of what your presence in my life reveals to me about who I am. If you are not mature enough to face the realities of yourself that you wish didn't exist, you will run, because we tend to run and make excuses for the very things that we are not ready to believe. And so whenever someone is forcing us to develop and we don't believe that there's capacity for that growth, we tend to run from things that are forcing us to do so. It's almost like a developer. Whenever they're going to develop on land, they're not going to develop on a plot that cannot accommodate the growth. And so sometimes with people, it isn't that they don't want to develop, they just don't understand their capacity for growth. We start to grow apart whenever we fail to grow together, and whenever we don't realize that I can't love you and hold you hostage to the person that you used to be, but I have to constantly grow to learn and discover the person that you are growing to be. Because if you are not willing to grow with me, then I'll have to do one of two things. I'll have to either abandon the relationship for the sake of my growth, or I will have to make the tough decision to stunt my growth for the sake of the relationship. So make sure to invest your time in relationships and in people that don't just accommodate where you are now, but ultimately accommodate where you want to be.